Welcome to the Dark Zone Adventure Racing Podcast. This is your host, Brian Gatens. We love doing this episode. We spent the morning and the afternoon and the evening in TA1 of Endless Mountains Adventure Race presented by Rootstock Racing. We spoke to every team. Everybody had a chance to offer their input and their thoughts and answer some questions and finish up talking about their families. It was a fun episode to record. It took a long time to do it. You will notice during it that the audio goes up and it goes down. It was rainy, it was windy, there were dogs barking, there were children playing, there were cars starting. We did our best to capture as much of the audio as possible. Some of it we had to cut, didn't make the final version. Some of it is a bit hard to listen to. I apologize, but this was Gonzo podcasting live from the field. So sit back and relax and enjoy this ever popular episode of Racer Voices. Standing in transition area number 1 with transition marshal Jim Roundsley. Jim, how's your race going so far?
We're pretty much on schedule. I've got my marshals all lined up ready. We just need some racers.
I mean, coming in off the track, it was the hardest thing I'd ever done. And you can only pull the just push this blast section so many times. Right. And we were trying to pull that all morning, all afternoon. But it's beautiful out here. And these people are awesome. Right. And it's a privilege to get to be here. I remind myself that there's a reason I chose to come out here. And there's a reason that I'm grateful for every second I get to spend doing this. After racer meeting, I was I'll take all of this I can get. And after this morning, I'm there's a happy medium. Doing my best to just take the time and pause and say this is hard, but it's special to get to do it here.
Prologue went fine. The opening trek, we got stuck on CP6 for a little bit. But after that, it was fairly straightforward. The rain made the second half of the trek muddy. So it was a lot of walking uphill in mud. Which slowed us down quite a bit. So
Prologue was kind of a fun little start to the day, and then the trek was not so fun. It was just long, it was muddy, it was difficult navigation. It was a slog.
That trek was the hardest leg I've ever done in an adventure race.
We knocked out the first group of optional checkpoints in Stage A, and I think that set us backwards for the rest of the race, so now we've got to catch back up. We know we've got some points on a lot of the teams ahead of us, and we just got to get back some time.
Right before the rain started, we decided to lie down for about an hour, then got rained on.
Okay.
But we enjoyed our 15 minutes of sleep.
Yeah, we decided we were trying to make it to this thing that we didn't know if there was a shelter. And then when we got there was no shelter. It was just a trailhead. And so we were like, well, I guess we're bivvy bagging it in the woods. And so we bivvy bag and had rain pelting down on the bivvy the entire time, made some lean-to shelters.
Used the emergency blankets, tried to use our poles to put some extra rain protection above us, slept for and I think we set a 90-minute timer.
Yeah.
3 of us almost didn't sleep at all.
Could have gone better. I hope to have a good leg, but hope and execution are two different things. I mean, it was thick and a lot of veg and whatnot, but I just made really dumb preventable mistakes, not paying attention. If you're not, the way they do these courses, if you take a break to not think about the map for 5 minutes, you pay for the.
Stay persistent, work as a team, look after one another, look after our feet. I think overall our feet are in pretty good shape. They were wet and soggy.
3 hours nap break last night.
And yes, I think the first one Phil and I did, we did 4 hours over 5 days. It was brutal. And last night now we're going to do 3 to 4 hours every night.
I think one thing that really helped us out on the trek was frequent foot care stops. Right. Started to feel some hot spots and made adjustments, sat on the side of the road, aired things out for 10 or 15 minutes, and it made all the difference in the world, because I would say halfway through I was like, uh-oh, the dogs are not going to make it all the way to the end.
The trek was bigger. It was a 20-plus mile trek, which I don't know. 30-plus, which I don't know if there's been many of those at any race, never mind at an opening stage. I thought there were a lot of extra trails out there, like you said. And so that made, I think a lot of people wandered around on extra trails a lot.
But the actual trail looks like maybe 3 people had been on it.
Gotcha. Yeah, they don't use it much.
Literally ate the last bit of my food right before we got in the boat. I don't think I packed enough for stage 1. I didn't feel like that. And then I was like, and then it went longer. I think I don't know. I didn't pack enough food.
Gotcha.
We made it.
We did have our 2 old
Our
meals.
old meals were great.
And
That's right. Actually,
that did really well for us. We have a couple hot meals out there, and that's always boosts the spirits. We kind of split up, where somebody was always constantly reminding us to eat snacks, stay on top of things.
It's definitely adventure racing. You never know what to expect, and we definitely had a couple of curveballs thrown our way, but I think the next couple of days will turn around for us.
Hilary and myself didn't met before this race, so yesterday was kind of our bonding experience, and it was probably one of the hardest day ever.
Epic, fun, challenging, ups and downs, but all in all, we're here. We made TA1, and I couldn't be more proud of my team.
Well, we started out great. We were feeling fantastic. The first part of the race went really well for us, probably around 2 o'clock in the morning. We'd been through a lot of water. There was a thunderstorm, and we started having some foot problems. Not for lack of care. We stopped multiple times to take care of them. And that really slowed us down for the last little while. And now we're almost in a bit of recovery, and we're really excited to start biking.
Well, I'd say the prologue started off really well. We were pretty solid coming in there. I think we were the second team to leave. And then, some things happened.
It's real important just to get the dry socks on, air the feet out, get some good food in us, hot food. Just dry things out. We were just soaked to the gills in this race, so it was tough.
And I think also with it being probably the longest leg, it's always a nice little tick to go, all right, nothing's longer than this.
This is big for us. We always do several a year, but shorter. They're harder to find. We're from Tulsa, Oklahoma. So 12, 24 hours is more. So this is a big deal for us. This is the longest race we've ever done. We've only done one Expedition 5. Pennsylvania, never Vermont.
But yeah, Pennsylvania's closest we come to this area.
This is much thicker. Kind of a bucket list. Just going to do it. Let's do it. Just what do you think? And knock it out.
It went better than I thought. We kind of thought we would take a break or midway through the trek, but we actually hooked up with another team and
nice conversation.
Good
past
conversation.
The night. And
kept
so we were
everybody
out till
motivated.
4. We kind of have a goal to sleep at night, so we kind of stopped when it rained. We actually timed it pretty well.
Okay.
And took a break instead of just come back here, so that's probably why we looked a little better. We've read.
So far, all the terrain we've covered is terrain I've been familiar with.
My first adventure race period. It's pretty nuts. They had someone that dropped out, and I've been wanting to do an adventure race, but always thought it was impossible. Last 10 years of my life, I just saw it as like a bucket list item. So being here is just an incredible blessing, and my teammates are incredible.
Gotcha.
So I think it was 2 months prior.
Okay.
So I had some time, maybe a little less.
It was a challenging night for sure, but we worked together and did what we could. We got all the mandatories. We got some of the optional CPs
About half of them.
on the front end, and then the storms came in and nighttime set, and we lost our spirit a little bit.
It's going well. Yeah, I think we had a good first leg overall, maybe compared to some other teams from what I've heard. So I think we made a good decision. We went for A8. Right, and we got turned around. We couldn't find it. It was pouring, and we just decided, you know what, we need to get back to the trail, and we need to get into the TA. The rest of this is going to take a lot longer than we think it's going to take, as well as the pack rafting, which did. So I'm glad we made that decision.
Well, gosh, motivation. Let's see. Just want to experience life and have adventure and do it with like-minded people and challenge myself, but have fun at the same time.
I'm feeling better, 20% better, but I was hurting. Oh, my feet were, I usually never have problems with my feet, and they were hurting as bad as they've hurt ever.
Well, this is day 1, and we're at our first TA, and it feels like it's been a million years already, and we have 6 more of these days to go through, and I'm psyched.
So this is the first time the 4 of us has raced endless together. Steve and Paul raced together the first one. I raced with the 2 of them the second one, and then we managed to con Sean in for the 3rd one.
I think true to the Endless Mountains adventure racing and the name, a lot of ups and a lot of downs.
We had some bobbles last night,
But I think everybody's felt down about it. I think collectively, sort of like, oh, it's kind of a drag, But I think with the new day, it's sort of like a new day. It's sort of behind us now. We're looking forward and seeing what happens next.
I think it's going great. I think we're taking things kind of steady and slow, making solid decisions.
I think that I think we've proven already on the first stage that our conversations were good ones, and we're taking care of each other. So I think that's what we're going to do. I think we're going to go through this race and we're going to pay attention to each other, take care of each other, and when things pop up, we're going to be there for each other.
So far, so good. having a fun time. Definitely, it's a little bit jarring to think. I've done 24-hour events with these guys before, and in this amount of time, we'd have done like at least a kayak, a pack raft, probably a couple of hikes, and a couple of bikes, and we basically spent that entire 24 hours just hiking around.
We knew that leg would test us before we even showed up. Like, we looked at the first breakdown and we were like, oh, cool, a 30-hour thing to start. That's trek to start. That's going to be pretty brutal. So we did. I think we did a good race yesterday and prioritized trying to take care of feet, skipping the optionals when we needed to just keep pushing. And today, getting a break on bike is going to be wonderful. To just do something different with the feet. Just hopping in the pack raft earlier was great.
Yesterday was pretty challenging. That's a lot of miles on the feet. So obviously we did some foot maintenance, get some more food into us, and just keep pushing forward. The weather didn't help with the thunder and rainstorms this morning when we were all warned about heat warnings. We came in freezing.
Awesome. I think it's going great. Peter's doing a great job navigating, and I think we feel pretty fit. Now we're coming to one of the better parts of the race.
All right, we seem to get here pretty quick. This is our first expedition race. So we weren't totally sure, although it's obviously early, so we're still kind of in the 24-hour zone.
I think we wish it was better. Yeah, the navigation didn't go great. It was okay, but definitely I think some lessons learned about trusting some of the trails on the maps and stuff, and kind of committing to those, and then finding out that they weren't there, or they weren't matching what was on the map. So we probably wasted maybe total 2 hours versus if we had run clean.
That we're off our feet, that's definitely a start, I feel. Yeah.
We were the fastest in the prologue.
That's right, fastest in the prologue.
And we actually, surprisingly, despite this terrible weather, all of the checkpoints on the paddle went well. Race with good people.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
You want to race with people that you get along with and that share similar goals.
Yeah, I think the navigation went pretty well. We had a few small little bobbles, but as expected from a rootstock race, it was tough nav. And yeah, it was a big trek. So we just tried to stay within ourselves, and there's a lot of racing left ahead.
The biggest challenge right now is that I don't have a rear skewer, so I guess we're gonna walk to Rutland and visit a bike shop and see what they got.
It's all about teamwork and understanding that we all bring different strengths to the team and working together to kind of stack those bricks and kind of build something special together. And so we know that we're going to have problems throwing at us left, right, center. TA1 wasn't our first problem, and so what we're seeing right now is, we've figured out a plan. We're going to execute the plan. We're going to try to stay ranked. And we just got to make it happen.
Ooh, that's a good question. Actually, we had a really good race all the way up until this 2 checkpoints ago, where we kind of got turned around and spent about a little over an hour trying to find something, and so that set us back a little bit. Chad, it was high water, right? I mean, basically it changed the topography of the shoreline, and so it really misdirected us in terms of where to attack.
We actually intentionally had feet care stops. I think it worked great. Even though I stopped and took care of my feet and put wet socks back on, they still felt so much. And your feet were never dry.
My feet are great.
Your feet are good?
Yep.
Yeah, I thought we did well in those sections. My feet, we've been doing foot care, so we've been changing our socks, lubing our feet regularly in the trek.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I threw a pair of sealskins on and had those on for 16
You were fine
hours.
the whole time. Good.
Yeah.
How we do with our feet?
Horrible. My feet are definitely the most wrecked they've ever been. Bad. I've never seen my feet this bad before, ever.
Bushwhacking really did a number on our feet.
Our feet are doing well. We had a couple of issues, but we worked through them in the TA. Feeling a lot better now.
Yeah, it was my feet were rough, like 8 out of 10 hurting, but my teammates couldn't do. They did their very best to get my feet back in shape, and we're going to be solid for the next coming days.
Yeah, we took a little longer on the TA, about 3 hours, but I think that helped rejuvenate the feet, and that's really what we need.
I usually don't get blisters, but it was way more wet than usual, of course, because of the pouring down rain. But that area of the forest is naturally wet, and it was so dirty. And we, rootstock's going to put us in the raunchiest of places.
Yep.
So I expected wet feet, but it was wet, dirty, continuously swamp feet. Yeah, and lots of up and down the hills, slippery rocks.
Lots of side
Yeah.
hilling.
Yeah.
Lots of side hilling,
Still
lots of
side
uneven
hilling.
footing, and when you mix that with the mud and the wet.
On a really long trekking leg, we will every 5 to 6 hours stop for 10 to 15 minutes. We take off our socks, air our feet out, and then re-lube, and then put everything back on again. And we've found that it really helps a lot with just preventing the worst of, foot decay.
Take care of our feet first. We all just made sure first thing we did was just get our feet dry, because the feet took a beating.
It was wet, long feet. My feet felt okay, but boy, were they water macerated, and they were terrible.
Feet are a little rough after that trek, but
Feet are angry.
As expected.
Along the side of a road next to a gate, we tried to sleep for 2 hours.
Okay.
That turned into 15 minutes of good sleep, and the rest trying to stay warm and dry.
We
Weren't
had
even
the
a bother.
We had the bivvies, but yeah, we do a taco tarp. So
Just roll in and hope for the best, right?
But you got to put the top part of the taco overlap the bottom part of the taco.
Yeah,
If it
otherwise
goes the other way around, right?
yeah,
Hits it.
otherwise you're making a Scandinavian pancake.
Yeah.
The water flows right in.
We have not slept too much. The biggest focus we have right now is to heal our bodies. I mean, we have some things we got to dry our feet good, and that's going to dictate probably, honestly, the rest. I think we're going to be able to rest here. We need to rest.
Got it.
And just based on, these guys really bust their tails, and we got all the mandatory stuff, and I was really proud of everybody.
You need more sleep than you think you do. You need 3 to 4 hours a night. You need consistent sleep every night to stay on your game on days 5, 6, 7, 8. And then you get everyone sleeping. I'm falling asleep, and this guy's I'm wide awake, and it kind of keeps everybody on the same page too. I think the plan's to try to get a sleep tonight out on course. Maybe get the first half of the bike done and sleep before or after the trek, depending on how we're feeling.
Yeah, so we haven't slept yet. We're gonna definitely sleep on this bike leg out there somewhere. I think we're gonna try and sleep 3-hour chunks, or probably every day, every 24 hours now. And then we might play with doing a 6-hour sleep some point down the road.
Gotcha.
Mid-race, maybe at the end, so we can get through the last
Monster
paddle and whatnot in one
Right.
piece, and maybe even be able to do it without sleeping if we get a good sleep before that.
So we came into the TA, we took a lot of time here just to get our feet right, get some rest.
We're probably going to average 3 hours of sleep a night is the plan. We didn't sleep last night, but we're going to get sleep every night after this to some extent. My secret weapon for this race, because we don't have to carry our tent with us, is I bought a really bad instant pop-up tent from Amazon, and so I can just chuck it and it inflates.
It's rootstock, and I always love their treks because there's always some gorgeous re-entrant that I want to, scream and yell at or whichever, but vistas, and they just really know where to put you in the terrain, and I love it.
We're gonna go today. Tonight is a sleep night. We're gonna definitely get through the bike leg, get as much done as we can do there. See what time we get in. The plan is with the heat coming tomorrow, probably maybe even getting some extra sleep in tonight, be on the water with the hot temperatures, hopefully stay cool, and be rested for tomorrow and get as much done in the paddle as quick as we can. Kind of like you said, playing the long game, the more rested we are at the beginning. If we have some extra in the tank at the end, we'll push it then, but let's get some sleep now.
Honestly, we were going to see how long it took us to get through the first stage. We thought we would maybe
catch a nap here, but it's pretty busy.
Our plan is to try to get some shorter rests, and then my thought process was try to get something longer around TA3 or after, as we're starting to get into the second half of the race. We need to make sure we get a sizable enough rest to kind of keep our wits about us, keep our navigation tight going forward.
I think we're in a pretty good position with getting the points up front. Certainly put us behind the pack, but if we stay strong and adjust our strategy, we'll see how it plays out.
Go get dinner.
Right.
We're going to stop in Rutland, get fed, and then just hit the mandatory points.
Gotcha.
That's our goal.
I think we were talking about basically just trying to run it a little cleaner, stay strong, and just recover from the last stage. And if we stay steady, I think we'll be right back in it. There's a lot of time left.
Right.
So we got 5.5 days, so
Yeah.
a lot can still happen, and we'll get back on our feet and we'll get going.
I mean, we basically want to win the 2 really long bike legs, so we're going to save ourselves by not doing the Shrewsbury trek. The concept of biking an extra 30 miles so that you can also walk a whole bunch of extra miles.
Planned ahead of time. We listened to the podcast and we understand that sleep strategy is critical, so we got ourselves some good sleep.
The fact that the trek was so long that we broke it up, and then it poured rain, so we slept during the rain.
On the 7 days versus like the 3.5, 4 days, the 3.5 days you can go 30 hours, squeeze a couple hours of sleep in, maybe you sleep twice for a couple hours through the whole thing. It's really hard to stretch that out over 7 days.
Right.
So you have to attack, stay up on that early. So we tried to bed down last night. Yeah, it got to be about midnight, and of course then I was almost 1:30, and then so we bedded down, and then our original plan was to be 45 minutes here and out the door, but with our soaking wet feet and everything trashed, we decided that we're going to nap here. We're going to get our feet dry.
I think we talked about it. I think we want to finish it, and we want to still have some joy left in the tank. I don't think we don't want to kill ourselves out there. We slept last night just because it makes this more fun.
During the day, yeah.
During the day, but because if you're fighting sleep monsters during the day, sometimes it's just not fun.
We're too old for that. We would like to finish all the mandatories, and that would feel definitely like success. A sense of satisfaction if we can cross the finish line.
Yeah, we were doing pretty good, and then we decided we were going strong, and we decided we were going to take a little bit of a rest. So start off, we were going to set 45 minutes, get a good rest after trekking for a long time. And then the rain hit. That got abbreviated a little bit because we weren't sleeping at that point. We packed up, hit the trail, walked in the rain because nobody was going to do any sleeping. That's probably the biggest thing that hit us, and then it just seemed to not stop.
I'm a little bit different in the sense that I want to be making sure that I'm having a well-rounded food intake, from things that are fun to even throwing some V8, getting some vegetables in there, because 7 days. Trying to get some protein in there, try to get as real protein as you can. I'm getting some tuna in there. I'm getting whatever I can, and it's portioning off and making sure that you have about you have sections of 6 hours of food, and you make it into specific sections of the race so that you know how much to grab for the section of race that you're going to. So unlike a 24-hour race that I'm used to, you can pretty much just shove whatever into your mouth, but we have to be very cognizant of what our gut's going to take, what's going to be good for our hydration. Something that you like one day you might not like it the next day. So we're being aware of that and making sure we have variety.
Well, I think we want to finish all 7 days. We don't want to kind of cut it short. But I think maybe we're going to have to be a little bit selective on some of the optional points now, just because we did take a little bit longer, and with on that foot stage also, and with some of the foot injuries that we've got there, I think it's probably have to be a bit prudent and just cut some of those. But our intentions for the bike park at the moment is to go for all the optionals, and we'll see how we go after that.
Plan is to sleep every night, no matter what. I heard some people say that most teams don't sleep the first night and then 3 hours thereafter. That's not us. We're going to do a little more than that.
We started off slower than I've ever started off a race before. 7 days is a long time, a lot of elevation, a lot of rocks, a lot of roots, a lot of small trees in the woods, just going slow, taking care of ourselves.
Yeah, the highs and lows are much more of a swing. Like when you can recover on day 2, day 3 if you run out of fuel or run out of water, but on day 5, 6, 7, or 8, like the team has to stop. You have to get water. You have to get food. It's a big deal then.
I'm doing a little bit of everything. So we've got something sweet, something salty, like a gel, and then trying every 12 hours to do like at least a ramen or something, which shout out to Marika for that strategy.
We ate some hot food.
Yeah,
we had a jet boil and we ate some hot backpacker meals.
Which definitely was one of those things that kind of changes your whole world perspective when you get a little bit of hot food in your belly. And then doing a new sport is just like it's a whole new day.
Right.
So, and bikes are my favorite. So. I know my personal goal was like to leave nothing out there.
Right.
Like, you know, when you get done, you look back and you're like, you know, there wasn't a whole lot that I had left in the tank when I crossed the line.
Right.
Yeah, I think we're just in the moment, that stage, and plugging through it, going through it.
You can't think about the next couple of days.
No. We're not thinking of it as 7 days. We're thinking of it as 7 TAs.
The way I've been thinking about it is just it's 7 24-hour races in a row. And so I'm just thinking about it like, okay, we finished the first 24-hour race. Now we're on the second 24-hour race. And that's helping my brain a little.
Daunting. It's definitely daunting because I forgot it was a 7-day. I remember watching the video beginning, but March when I signed up for it, I'm trying to figure out why Saturday to Saturday didn't count to 5.
Right.
Count the days. I was like, oh man, I'm okay. But I had already had the training going. I used Jen. She's awesome. So no, yes, it's daunting, but ready for it. And every time I did some of the 5s, I was always ready to do one day more.
Gotcha.
I have to do one day more, but.
I've been working on a bunch of DIY race food that's packing in the calories. So I have like granola, blueberry, and milk breakfast that has 1,000 calories per serving, and like I did like a homemade cookie dough, and like I'm doing homemade gels now. So because 7 days buying gels and food for 7 days is
it's a long time,
really expensive.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to do it all myself, and also then if I do it myself, it only has to be shelf stable for the duration of the race.
I think we're gonna head over to the first bike park and then take our time, get as many points as we can in there. Hopefully we can snag them all, and then we're gonna shoot over down through Rutland, find a couple snacks. And
I think just making sure we take care of each other, making sure we're all eating and our nutrition is good, because I think that'll derail our race faster than anything else could at this point. I think we're all, physically in shape for the race and mentally in shape for the race. We just need to make sure we take care of each other.
I would say that after 4, that it's sort of the same until about 7 or 8.
Gotcha.
At 9 or 10 or 11, then things start to happen.
I think it was the stage we just got done with. I think it was A.
The first stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Long tracks.
Sure.
Rootstock has great checkpoint placement.
Mm-hmm.
It's super challenging, and it lived up to that.
Talked a lot about roles and expectations and stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay. Speak up. If you have a concern, you need to let your teammates know. If something's bothering you, make sure your teammates know so maybe they can help you with whatever is bothering you.
If you caught us maybe an hour ago, you would have had a different vibe for the team.
Right.
But we knew we needed to get ourselves right here. We took the time to put our feet together, to put our clothes together, get the food. And I mean, we'd rather spend a little extra time in a TA to feel great when we leave on the next leg, as opposed to trying to rush through it. We're not out here to win it. We're out here to enjoy ourselves, race the race we want to race. We know what that race is, and feel good while we're out there.
Just challenging?
Yeah, right off the hop, what was it, 5 and 6? Those were 2 challenging, like, in re-entrant checkpoints, and but it got us, I think, in tune with how it's our first endless for us. So,
Gotcha.
Yeah, just kind of in tune with the race design, I think. And then what was that, 9, the re-entrant?
Yes.
It was a killer 1-2 for us. I don't know why. Just take it checkpoint by checkpoint. Yeah, I thought
sleep
this.
tonight.
Yeah, we'll get some sleep at some point. And I also thought looking at this would be the hardest.
Yeah,
it was a long track.
Yeah, we can't complain. No big blunders. We didn't get lost. And
Gotcha.
We had to
kind of kept us ahead of the
We had
pack,
to drop
but-
one checkpoint that we couldn't find, but
Right, there was one that we did
Yeah.
some circles on, and we're not going for the full course. Our goal is to be an official finisher, so we're hoping to get as much low-hanging fruit and whatever else we can on that. We did a lot of big training. We did a lot of overnight training after a day of work and before the next day of work.
We're having fun. We're doing our thing. We decided to plot the whole race before we started.
which, well, as
now that it's
now that
pissing
it's
rain in a
pouring
TA.
rain, we're happy that we did that.
Right.
So that was a strategic choice to start with. So I think we're happy we did that, and we kind of had our mind cleared after that.
Class 4 roads in the biking.
Yeah, I'd say the mountain biking course. They talked a lot about how Vermont has a lot to offer for the mountain biking. So looking forward to seeing that setup out there.
Very good.
It's funny. I like the whitewater, and I really like the trekking section. So that was what I was looking forward to.
Gotcha. You are the second person out of roughly over 100 to like the trekking section. So congratulations, you're on your own with that.
Forward to some of the flowy stuff I've seen out here, being able to ride some of that stuff.
And this is a gorgeous course and a gorgeous place, just like mountains and biking, and it's just so beautifully green that like I'm just excited to cover the ground.
I'm looking forward to the pack rafting sections.
Yep.
Yeah, I like biking personally.
I like the mixed sections where there's a bike, trek, relay. It's coming up later in the race. Yeah, that's great.
I've never done whitewater rafting, so I think it's a mix of excitement and fear.
The next paddle.
Next paddle, very nice. You're off your feet.
This bike to get off my feet.
This bike to get off your feet.
I was looking forward to this bike for the last 12 to 14 hours.
Right.
So,
just to get someplace different, right?
Yeah, I was struggling a little bit on the last stage, just with, I think, in my head a little bit and general fatigue, not from anything else other. So I was really just put one foot or the other, asking Mike what's up for the next 5 minutes, so I had something to focus on.
End of G and beginning of H, all the Lake Champlain stuff.
You want to get to that?
That
Yeah,
seems
that's
really
very
cool.
common. Yeah.
Not just because it's almost the end, but that also seems cool.
I'm really excited about paddling the white because I've never done that, and then I am excited for the last stage where I basically get to go through my neighborhood.
I've ridden on a lot of these roads that we're going to go on over the next couple days, so I mean, and they're amazing roads, but just a sense of, you know, the big bike stage, the queen stage of this race. It's a sawtooth, the really short, steep climbs. Some climb 15 to 20%. So they're not super long gap rides, which we could certainly do in Vermont, but these short ones. So knowing that going in, you just got to prepare to get off your bike. And
I feel like both previous endless mountain races, the last stage, which was supposed to be straightforward because you get back to the city and you think, oh, it's a little urban situation. And in both times, like, things went bananas and you get lost. And so in theory, where we're going on the last stage, I actually have been to all those places and have a less high probability of getting effed up.
Well, the White River, paddling the White River, but also the orienteering, Bike-O and Trek-O at the Craft Spray Outdoor Center.
I think the mountain bike areas, I hope I have the legs for them.
We're going to check on each other's well-being, I think, you know, check in and make sure this is okay, or is this comfortable with this decision.
Looking forward to the whitewater.
Single track and then some time on that whitewater. Rest my feet.
I'm looking forward to the top of J Peak too.
I think the next paddle sounds fun.
The next paddle sounds fun.
Flashy. The open water in Champlain at the end and the mountain bike across the causeway.
What these embedded bike-Os are like. If they're nice and flowy, they could be fun. If they're super technical, they could be a lot of pushing.
I'm looking forward a little bit the towns.
Okay.
And they will give me a little bit of morale help, a little bit of people moving around.
Sure.
Last night we had an encounter with a bear, and it was pretty scary.
I'm an orienteer from Hart, so I'm looking forward to the O relay. We're a 3-person team, so I'll end up doing 2 of those 4 legs.
Okay, so the O relay.
For me, I'm a paddler through and through, so I just cannot wait to get on that water, go through some rapids, and enjoy some flowing water. That should be fun.
Oh, my expectations. I don't know, to have fun. I want to have fun every stage.
Oh, we want to have fun. We're going to hit some single track, and that's going to be the highlight of the day, I think.
Yeah, looking forward to the single track. I think that we need a chance to let our feet recover, all of us. So I think it'll be good to get on a nice, easy downhill bike ride, hopefully.
I think that the paddling will be pretty fun. And then biking, I think, is, that's where we have a lot of history.
Maybe leg 3 for the river for sure. I think being from Canada, we get a lot of flat water canoeing. So it'd be nice to get on some white water and some moving rapids.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to see Jay in the summer. That's going to be beautiful.
I was just going to say, I don't know what I'm looking forward to. I know I'm apprehensive about the paddle into paddle.
Right.
That one, I'm like, ah.
I think the next section, well, the mountain bike park, I'm really looking forward to that.
I think the mountain bike park, but also I think the next paddle. That I think it's it's a decent distance there. Some bit of white water, some bit of splashes. So I think I always like that.
So I'm going to say the paddle first, and then the mountain biking. I love mountain biking.
Because Brenda's also doing a big paddle with
canoe marathon. Mary Chandler, in the end of July. So I've been spending a lot of time in the boat.
We have real paddling strength, but we also have a real paddling conundrum in that part of my paddle, my physical paddle, disappeared. So I'm paddling like in a canoe.
Bike stages for me, bike stages.
Yeah.
And just any place that, the
To
beauty,
see it.
the beauty around here is just
We trekked a section yesterday on a road, and it was gorgeous. I don't remember where we are before we jumped into the woods again, and there was like a blueberry meadow, bed and breakfast, blueberry bed and breakfast, and it was a blue building. It was beautiful, like flowers and stuff. We're like, this is gorgeous. So we seeing things. So it'll be nice to be on the bike and be able to see. I mean, the woods is good, but once it's dense and dark, you're just basically.
I think just get back to the TA, clean up the feet. That was most important. The rain just killed us there. Make sure we take care of all cuts, bruises, blisters like that. Get something, keep hydrated. Get some food in us, and just make sure we have all the things we need to get on the road. I'm really looking forward to getting on a pack raft and getting down the White River. Hopefully the water level's good, and we'll have a nice ride down.
It's gonna be hot. The mountain biking trails, I love that in general, and Vermont is so beautiful. I've been dying to get up here and mountain bike on them, and now's my opportunity.
I'm excited for the Stage C pack raft.
Okay.
I love a good swift water, little class 1-2 rapids. So I think that'll just be fun.
To be honest, I was most looking forward to the first trek. I loved it. The navigation was fun. It was challenging. I had a great time on it.
Right.
I'll be happy with another one, but I'm looking forward to getting on my bike.
The gas station stop.
And the brewery.
I was going to say breweries and ice cream shops.
We are going on the first big mountain bike of the course to TA3. We'll be riding some trails that I am somewhat familiar with since I live in Vermont as well. We're going to Pine Hill Park. We're going to Sherburne Trails and Green Mountain Trails, and they're all wonderful. I'm so excited that they're showcasing them on this course.
The end of the race, the second to last stage, is the bike ride on the, what's it called?
Causeway.
The Causeway on Lake Champlain. We just can't miss it.
Just seems like an alignment. I think I actually heard you say that on your podcast about just it was the alignment of the right race at the right time, and next year I might not be able to do it, and I actually just retired from my job, and I have somebody to do it with, and Kim's from Vermont, so it kind of seemed aligned for him also.
I think biking the Hero Islands is going to be really spectacular, and then that bike ferry is really intriguing.
Yeah,
I mean, I
cool,
kind
right?
of hoping we hit it at night just so we get the nighttime guy and just kind of see what's all that's about.
Yeah, just the rest of the race. It's going to be exciting.
Whitewater leg.
The whitewater leg?
Usually scary, but this one sounds right on.
I love the trekking, the bushwhacking through the woods and stuff. That's what I love. So.
We've already done that.
I'm excited about the paddling. That's my favorite.
I'm with Anna on the paddle. Oh, I love biking, so this would probably be my favorite part of the race. Gotcha. All these bike sections, but especially this one with single track. For me, it's always the next section. So right now it's the bike.
I'm looking forward to the sleep section.
Stand-up paddleboard looks interesting. I've never done that before. It mixed into an expedition race, so I think that's kind of an interesting twist. The second long bike ride is going to be a beast. Tired legs, distance, the nav looks pretty tricky. It's this first bike leg is just connecting the bike parks, so most of it's going to be, I think, fairly easy to navigate until we get to the bike parks, and then it's going to be really tricky. I would just say working together as a team. I wouldn't say any particular aspect of the course.
Gotcha.
We are actually racing with the spirit of a young lady who lost her life a couple of weeks ago. You'll notice that we all wear number 11. She happened to be Chad's niece, and so we're just rallying around her spirit.
Reset.
It's a reset. Yeah, it's a reset.
It's a new section to go on, so we're not out of this race. There's a lot of race left. We all know that this rain's going to eventually end. We're going to be sweating buckets soon.
So it's just a matter of getting moving and getting back into our maps, and we're happy to be on the bike and off our feet.
I think it's always you deal with what you see. We have no idea what we're going to see, and so we're going to figure it out. We haven't done any mountain biking yet, so for all we know, it's always muddy. I mean, we'll see how much the heat and the rain delays the fast estimates.
Yeah.
But we've got more food. That's basically the only change. Well, we try to be a pretty balanced team.
Yeah.
Trying to be solid at everything, but
There are a few bikes with embedded track, so that's down our alley, I would say. So yeah, we like that.
Hi to my family, Jessica, Gannon, and Flynn. We're all in St. Louis.
Yeah, so I'm here with my wife, so can't say hi to her. But yeah, our kids, Simon, Miles, and Savannah.
And then my mom, Frances, my dad, Jerry, my sisters.
I'd like to say hi to my boys, Teddy and Wyatt, and my dad back at home. Love you guys.
And my wife, Erica, and my kids, Maya, Devlin, Calliope. I think they're all dot watching, so they're probably wondering why we're spending so much time here. Now they know.
I want to say hello to my parents, Kevin and Candy, and my wife and our 2 French bulldogs who are standing right behind you. I cannot wait to end this interview so I can go get a hug and some kisses.
And say my parents, Katie and Bill, that are watching from Colorado, and my friend Joe kind of keeping track at home. So always grateful to have people that make this happen and cheer me on.
My wife, Ami, and my kids, Roan and Lilia. My wife, Marcella, and my son, Jude, and my parents.
I want to say hi to our son, Logan, and definitely our parents who are watching him.
That's it. Yeah, our son and my parents are with him, and just hoping they're having a good week without us.
My daughter, Ada, and my wife, Lindsay.
My wife, Stephanie, and my boys, Dax and Duke.
My wife, Janine, and sons, Zach and Peyton.
My wife, Jennifer, and my daughter, Cody.
My boyfriend, Bradway, and my sister who's watching both of the girls today are for the week, Zoe and Jagger.
Hannah, Lee, and Mariah, my kids, and Dave, my partner.
My wife, Michelin, my son, Joshua, my 2 dogs, Zoe and Ella.
Motley, my cat.
My mom and dad, but specifically my mom, whose 78th birthday is today.
Oh, happy birthday, Mom. Very nice. Very good.
I already wished her happy birthday on Friday.
Yes, I'd like to say hello to my wife, Emma, and my kids, Ruby and Elliot.
I'd like to say hello to my wife, Denise, and our dogs, Molly and Otis, who are listening at home.
And my dog, Alice, because I don't want her to be jealous of Otis.
We wanted to let the dogs out in the course to see if they found us, but we decided not to.
I want to say hi to my wife, Deb, and my boys, Ethan and Matt, and my Vermont family, Peter, Marianne, Jeff, and Marielle.
My husband's going to be here volunteering later in the week, and I hope I cross paths with him.
Yeah, my husband Dwayne, my son Gavin, my daughter Addie, and my son Bear. I can't wait to see them. They'll be up here in Burlington.
Most like to say hi to my wife Laura and my son Zach and my daughter Jackie.
Yeah, my wife Jess and the boys, Rowan, Judah, and Bodie. Hope they're having fun. We'll see them in a week.
And then all the Nordquists out there.
My husband and my normal race partner, Zach Walker, and then our 4 kids, Miles, Roxy, Preston, Everett, who are all home dot watching.
I want to call out just my wife, Jennifer Ryan, just for a lot of patience and allowing me to do this. And then I left my grandbabies with her, but all my grandbabies, I just love every one of them. So.
And I also have to call out my husband and my 2 children. They really don't understand why I do this or even what this is all about. I said, listen to your podcast. Like, I sent them the email and I said, make sure you click on that link. I said, he won't send you more emails. The kids at Moose Pass School and Miss Barron's, because they also like to follow me. So.
My wife, Mallory Paisley, our 3 children, Brooke, Weston, and Callie.
Excellent.
And I thank them for their support getting me here.
I want to say hello to my wife, Bina, and my son, Dylan.
My husband, Jordan.
How about the kid who ran at Nationals yesterday and did not tell me what time he got during the, what do they call that? The trail mail?
All my friends and family in Canada, as I'm in the Ottawa area, and shout out to Kitchener-Waterloo, to Mom and Dad. And I want to say a big thanks to a few other people that I've raced before. My first ever race with Brent Anderson and Phil. They started this 10 years ago with me, and so now I'm continuing the passion. So if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here today.
I'll say hi to my kids, Nick, Josh, and Max. Patty's here, my wife volunteering, and my parents for watching. Any of my other relatives who, for the first time, are looking at a adventure racing dot watching experience.
Husband and kids, obviously.
I want to say hello to my wife, who's around here. I hope she hears the freaking podcast, but I want to say hi to her because I haven't seen her much.
Very nice. Okay, you'll see her eventually.
I'd say my family back home in Australia and my partner Josephine, and she always likes to listen in, so yeah.
Excellent.
I'm going to go with my hubby Joe and my dad, Hal. Yep.
Joanna, Hannah, Caleb, Mom, Dad, or Papa. And of course, Kate and Jason, the other racing team. Miss you guys.
Who might be listening? I don't know, but my parents, my sisters, and my 2 boys.
Very nice.
My brother and my friends.
I'd like to say hello to Heather, my wife, and my son Nate, and my daughter Ava.
My mother Patty and my wife Eva.
My mom for sure. She's my biggest cheerleader, and my Aunt Judy. And if my dogs were to be listening, I miss them, and my fella named Paul.
I guess my mom, my dad, my brother, my sisters, my girlfriend Dee.
Yeah, I have to call out my son Wilder, who I always miss when I leave him for a week, and I miss him a lot today. And Cliff, my teammate and my partner, who I always think about his wisdom on these days.
My mom. Hi, Mom.
Very nice. Hi, Mom.
Yeah, my mom and dad, my go-to dot watchers.
Excellent.
My wife Rebecca and my sons Evan and Noah. They're coming up on Thursday.
Can't wait to see them.
They're gonna have a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yes, my mom. Thank you for taking care of my cat and always supporting me. Love you.
To Ayla, we love you.
Ayla.
Can't wait to see you.
And Millie, from Mom and Dad, we love you.
And my wife and kid, Jordan and Henry, love you guys.
My sister, Eileen, my mom, Jacqueline, and my girlfriend, Lori. Thanks for the support.
I'd just say hi to my family. Sorry I missed my daughter's birthday yesterday, but I had a good time. Hope she did too. But yeah, love them.
Liz, back at home, holding down the fort and the farm. My 2 little boys, Blue and Scout, their dogs. And then, my parents and my sister.
I was say hey to Dana, my wife, my girls Skylar and Sydney. I'm doing great, having fun, and we're rocking this. So thanks for all your support.
Yeah, I'd like to say hello to my wife, Jean.
My dogs, Luli and Jasper. Oh, and Mary.
My wife, Cheryl Quo.
My pups, Shay and Sawyer and Kip.
Okay, my wife, Laura, and my 3 daughters, Katie, Rachel, and Michelle.
Maul, Paul, Bro, and Katie.
My mom, my dad, my sister.
My family doesn't do podcasts, so I'm going to shout out to my teammates, Karen and Christy.
I would like to say hello to the many pet sitters that are handling my pet care this week. I really appreciate it. There's like 6 people involved, and that is very, very cool that everybody showed up to help with that.
Say hi to my wife, Erin.
And Meg, you have no one to say hello to him. Why is that?
I don't, because he's here. This is his first time volunteering, and he went hardcore with a 7-day race, and he's learning a lot.
I'll say hi to my kids. Hey, Fiona and Audrey, and my wife, Laura.
I'll say hi to my kids, Matthew and Ellen and Alexis and AJ and Jacob and Lexi if she's watching, and Mary, she's volunteering out here, so hi to Mary when I see her, and anybody who's watching our dot back home.
I'd like to say hi to the best wife in the world for letting me come out here, and my 2 boys. I miss them.
I want to say hi to my wife Kelly and my 2 daughters Emily and Zoe.
My wife Laura, for sure.
My kids Aurora and Embry, my pup Brookie, and all my friends who are helping to take care of the homestead while I'm away.
My wife Candy, and my kids Hunter and Callie. Great. And then the pups and the cats.
My family is huge dot watchers. They love dot watching, so shout out to my family, friends, my girlfriend Molly.
And my wife Marcy. I know she's living with the computer in her lap all week.
watching the dots. So, hey, Mars.
Husband Steve and daughter Georgia.
My parents are probably watching.
Hi, Conrad. Hi, Ricky. Hi, Steph. Miss you guys.
Hi, Thad. Hi, Aiden. Hi, Sasha.
Hi, Blake. Hi, Colleen.
Misty, Ainsley, Aniston. Miss you guys. Can't wait to see you.
I better say hi to my boys. Yeah, Emmett and Jack.
I'll say hello to my whole crew.
Now I'll say hi to my kids, Ruby and Willie.
So I'd say hi to my family.
Say hi to my family as well.
Well, there you have it, folks. Another episode of the Dark Zone Adventure Racing Podcast. Thank you to all the racers for taking part in their interview during their transition area number 1 at the Endless Mountains Adventure Race. It was a lot of fun to record and a lot of fun to edit. Hope you enjoyed it. Look forward to seeing you out there. And if you like what you hear on the Dark Zone, please like, click, and subscribe. And as always, if you keep racing, we'll keep talking.